Today we're going to have a look at how to disassemble, clean and reassemble your Brumby tap. So firstly we're going to need to remove our Brumby tap from the kegerator door. Now on my kegerator I actually need to loosen this nut on the back in order to get the collar to spin freely on the other side. Now we can just grab the collar and turn it until the tap slides out. Here's a closer look at the collar assembly. Meanwhile, we can take some keg and line cleaner and just give that a good scrub in there. So now that we've got our tap out, I like to set everything up on a piece of towel, keeps it all together. Some of the things that you're going to need are obviously the tap, some cleaning brushes, some food grade grease for when we put it all together, and we'll need a sponge and a cloth and some keg and line cleaner. We're going to start by removing the handle. Now we'll remove the handle retaining nut. And now we'll take off the collar. Now with the collar off, we can just slide the lever assembly out. And then if we push on the front of the plunger should come more or less straight out. And that's our tap fully disassembled. I'm just going to remove the bush and seal from the lever assembly. They just slide straight over the top. Now if they're damaged you can replace them, but today I'm not going to. There's also a seal in the back of the tap housing. Today I'm not going to remove that. So now we're just going to put all of our parts into our keg and line cleaner and let them soak for a few minutes. If your tap is particularly grotty and dirty, you can leave them overnight, but today I'm just going to soak them for a few minutes. Now that our parts have been soaking for a little while, I'm just going to take them each out, give them a rub, give them a scrub where it's appropriate with the bottle brush, and we just want to be as thorough as possible so that the line cleaner can really get into everything. I'm sure you've got better things to do than watch me scrubbing parts all day, so I've just sped this bit up. Now that we've given everything a good scrub, we'll just soak it in the keg and line cleaner for a bit longer. If your keg and line cleaner is nice and warm, you'll see that it'll start to foam up and you'll see a layer of scum coming out on top of the cleaner. This is a good thing because this is all the grime coming out of your tap. Now I'm just going to take each of the parts out, give them a wipe over and another scrub, and then place them on the bench. At this point, you want to be really thoroughly inspecting each part and making sure that they're properly clean. So now I'm going to swap out the bowl of line cleaner for a bowl of sanitizer, and we're just going to load all of the parts into that bowl to soak for a few minutes. Now this sanitizer is an acid-based sanitizer, so it's actually neutralizing the mild caustic in the keg and line cleaner that I use. Now that all our parts have had the opportunity to soak for a few minutes, we're just going to take them out and lay them on our towel and then dry them all off. Now all that's left is to put it all back together. So I'm going to take the housing and the plunger, and I'm going to take a small amount of food grade grease, and I'm going to run that around the seal and around the barrel. Now we can slide that back into the housing. We can line up the little groove so that it's facing the top of the housing where the lever assembly will go in. Now we can take the lever assembly. We're going to cover that with a little bit of food grade grease. You only need to do the bottom end, you don't need to do the top thread. And then we're just going to line that up with the opening. It just drops in there like that. Now we're going to take the bush and slide that over. And we're going to place the seal on top. That bush should just click down so that it's flush and sit in there neatly. Now we can put the collar on top and screw that on, just finger tight. And now the handle retaining nut. And then we can put our handle on, and once we've got our handle on, we just back off the nut in order to lock the handle on in place. There you go, fully reassembled. Just going to wipe any grease or anything off the tap so that it's nice and clean and ready to go back on the fridge. Now we're ready to put our tap back in. I'm just going to take a tiny smear of food grade grease and I'm going to run that around the seal inside there. Now while it's not strictly necessary, we can take a little bit of grease and just run it around the outside of that thread. Now we just need to line up the little splines. Can you see those splines in there? So slide that onto the splines on the kegerator and then do up the collar. And that only needs to be done up finger tight. And then of course we just need to do our nut back up on the inside of the kegerator. Once you've got it all back together, don't forget to run a good litre or so of sanitizer through the tap system just to clean it all out. This also neutralises any cleaner that was left in the lines. Just to recap, we disassemble the tap, then we wash with keg and line cleaner, then we scrub out any muck with brushes, we neutralise our cleaner, reassemble our tap, flush the system with sanitizer, and then have a beer. Now you can disassemble and clean a Brumby tap with confidence. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, please click subscribe.
Please.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?